Lewis Hamilton was one yellow flag away from turning a damaged British Grand Prix into a Ferrari comeback story. But then the FIA stepped in, the penalty landed, the safety car changed everything, and Hamilton watched second place disappear at Silverstone. Leclerc won the race. Ferrari looked fast. The red car scared Mercedes and Red Bull. But Hamilton was furious. And here is why this is bigger than one lost position. A 5-second penalty took away Hamilton's freedom. The yellow flag chaos tested Ferrari's pit wall. Russell stayed out. Hamilton stopped. And in the final moments, Ferrari went from a possible 1-2 to a result that felt unfinished. That is the dangerous part. Ferrari still won. But Hamilton did not look satisfied. So now the real question is not whether Ferrari had the speed. The real question is whether Ferrari can survive the pressure when the FIA yellow flags, penalties, and strategy all hit Hamilton at the worst possible moment. Because Silverstone may have exposed the one weakness Ferrari cannot afford to carry into the next race. Subscribe to the channel. Editor. Silverstone was supposed to be Hamilton's emotional turning point with Ferrari. Not just another podium. Not just another strong weekend. A real statement. The kind of race where everything finally connects. The British crowd. The red suit. The Ferrari badge. The speed in the car. The belief that maybe, after all the doubts, Hamilton's new chapter was finally ready to explode into something bigger. But Formula One does not care about fairy tale timing. It cares about details. And at Silverstone, the details turned against Hamilton almost immediately. The race had barely begun when the first problem arrived. The FIA investigated Hamilton for a false start, and by lap 6, the punishment was confirmed. 5 seconds. That number sounds almost harmless. 5 seconds is nothing when someone is late to answer a message. 5 seconds is nothing when you are waiting at a traffic light. 5 seconds is barely enough time to take a breath, look away, and look back again. But in Formula One, 5 seconds is a weapon. It follows you. It sits behind every decision. It changes the way your race is seen by everyone around you. Before the penalty, Hamilton could race with freedom. He could attack the cars ahead, protect the tires, and trust that every second he gained belonged to him. After the penalty, the race became different. Every gap behind him became dangerous. Every overtake ahead of him became urgent. Every pit stop had to include the invisible weight of time already lost. It was like running with a stone in your shoe. You can still move. You can still fight. But you feel it every step. And that is why the tension around Hamilton was so sharp. This was not a driver having a quiet race in the midfield. This was Lewis Hamilton at the British Grand Prix in a Ferrari, with a car that actually had enough pace to fight for something meaningful. That is what made the penalty hurt. Not because it ended his race. Because it damaged a race that still had huge potential. At the front, Leclerc had given Ferrari the perfect beginning. He launched cleanly, attacked immediately, and moved ahead of Antonelli to lead from the opening lap. That moment gave Ferrari control, and at Silverstone, control is everything. Clean air around a Formula One car is like having an empty motorway in front of you. The car breathes better. The tires suffer less. The driver can choose his pace without being dragged into someone else's fight. Leclerc had that gift. Hamilton did not. And from that point, the two Ferrari drivers were living completely different races. Leclerc was managing opportunity. Hamilton was repairing damage. Leclerc could think about rhythm, tire life, and protecting the lead. Hamilton had to think about punishment, traffic, rivals, and how to make a compromised race feel whole again. That split is where Ferrari's day became dangerous. Because when one car is leading and the other is under penalty pressure, the team has to make uncomfortable choices. Do they protect the win first? Do they give the recovering driver freedom to fight? Do they take risks with strategy, or do they play safe because the race lead matters more than everything else? These are not easy questions inside a Formula One garage. They are even harder when the driver under pressure is Hamilton. Because Hamilton is not just another name on a timing screen. He brings history. He brings expectation. He brings the memory of championship teams where the pit wall had to be sharp, fast, and ruthless. He knows what perfect execution feels like, and that makes every imperfect moment more painful. And Ferrari already knew this relationship needed trust. Earlier in the season, Hamilton had questioned strategic calls. He had felt there were missed opportunities, moments where Ferrari could have acted faster under virtual safety car conditions. Those are the kind of moments fans sometimes forget, but drivers do not. Drivers remember the call that did not come. They remember the lap where the chance disappeared. They remember when the race gave the team an opening, and the team did not take it. Trust is built in those moments. It is also damaged in those moments. So when the FIA penalty hit Hamilton at Silverstone, Ferrari was not only managing a race. Ferrari was managing a relationship. That is why this British Grand Prix mattered so much. Hamilton needed the team to show him that even if the race started badly, they could still guide him out of trouble. He needed calm. He needed precision. He needed the pit wall to be one step ahead, because the penalty had already taken away his margin. And for a while he did exactly what Ferrari needed from him. He did not collapse. He did not let frustration destroy the tires. He did not disappear from the fight. He stayed there, absorbing the damage, keeping the car alive and waiting for the race to open again. But Mercedes saw the weakness. Antonelli was close enough to attack, and when he passed Hamilton before Copse, it was more than a simple move for position. It was a message to Ferrari. You are not safe. Your second car is vulnerable. Your perfect result can still be broken. That overtake changed the feeling of the race. Leclerc was still leading, but Ferrari no longer looked untouchable. Hamilton was still in the podium fight, but his route forward had become harder. And with the penalty already hanging over him, every lost position carried extra weight. This is where the yellow flag tension began to matter before the yellow flag even arrived. They do not disappear because the team won with the other car. They do not disappear because the podium ceremony looked good. They do not disappear because the result on paper still sounds strong. Hamilton will remember the sequence, the investigation, the 5-second penalty, the fight back, the move on Verstappen, the Antonelli retirement, the possible Ferrari 1-2, the yellow flag, the safety car, the pit call, Russell staying out, second place gone. That sequence is the story. And it matters because it reveals the exact kind of tension Ferrari must solve if they want Hamilton to fully trust the project. This is not just about one decision. It is about the feeling created by several moments stacked together. The driver carries the penalty. The team carries the strategy. The FIA carries the rules. The rivals carry the pressure. And when all of those forces meet in one race, the outcome becomes a test of whether Ferrari can stay sharp enough. At Silverstone, Ferrari were sharp enough to win with Leclerc. They were not sharp enough to give Hamilton the full rescue. That is the uncomfortable truth. And it becomes even more uncomfortable because Hamilton had already experienced moments earlier in the season where Ferrari's execution was questioned. The Australia strategy call. The missed chance under virtual safety car conditions. The race where the team lost his global positioning system information and was effectively blind to his exact position. These were not identical problems, but they created the same emotional question. Can Hamilton rely on Ferrari when the race becomes complicated? That is the question every great driver silently asks his team. Not when the car is cruising. Not when the tires are perfect. Not when the strategy is obvious. The question appears when the race is messy, when the options are ugly, when the yellow flag arrives at the worst time, and when the pit wall has seconds to choose the future. Silverstone gave Ferrari that test, and the answer was mixed. They won the race. They lost the bigger statement. They put Hamilton on the podium. They left him furious. They proved the car has speed. They also proved speed does not remove pressure. It increases it. Because when a slow team makes a strategy mistake, people shrug. When a fast Ferrari makes one, it becomes a headline. When a midfield driver loses second place, the story fades. When Hamilton loses second at Silverstone in a Ferrari, the whole paddock listens. That is the new reality for Ferrari. They are fast enough to be judged seriously again. And serious judgment is ruthless. It does not care that first and third is a strong result. It asks why first and second disappeared. It does not care that Hamilton recovered from the penalty. It asks whether Ferrari protected the recovery properly. It does not care that yellow flag chaos is difficult. It asks whether the best teams find a way through it anyway. This is what Hamilton brings to Ferrari. A higher standard. Not because Leclerc lacks one. Leclerc has carried Ferrari's hopes for years, and his victory at Silverstone was proof of his strength. But Hamilton brings the memory of what relentless execution looks like at championship level. He knows that the difference between a good team and a title-winning team is often one call under pressure. One call under yellow. One call under safety car. One call when everyone else is panicking. That is what Ferrari must learn from Silverstone. The penalty created the challenge. Hamilton created the recovery. The yellow flag created the final test. And Ferrari's response created the tension. Because Hamilton did not leave Silverstone wondering whether the Ferrari could be fast. He left wondering whether Ferrari could be ruthless enough. That question is far more dangerous. Speed can be found in upgrades. It can come from setup, from confidence, from a circuit suiting the car. Ruthlessness is different. Ruthlessness is culture. It is timing. It is the instinct to make the correct call while the race is changing under your feet. And that is the part Ferrari still has to prove.